All right, guys, I wanted to give a little bit more time for people to join. I think we should get started. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Praveen, can you please bring up the PowerPoint?
Yes.
All right. We have our my very esteemed colleague, Praveen Kumar, here to talk about our product KMS and in this wonderful webinar called Stop Watching Dashboards. So if you can go to slide 2, please, and it will go into presentation mode. KARYA Technologies was founded in 2007, and we are a US-based company with a very large global deployment team based in India. We have a lot of customers all across the world and work in every single industry vertical imaginable. All of the products and services that we deal with work for almost every single business industry and type of business. Most of our customers are small to mid-sized companies, but we have done projects and work for very large organizations as well. So can we please go to the slide? All right, I'm going to turn over the webinar to my colleague here. You are in very, very good hands. He is extremely knowledgeable about this information. So Praveen, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Priya, and thank you all for joining. So thanks for the opportunity. So today we are here to discuss about the importance of monitorings and especially with respect to infrastructure application areas, because if you go for any software or applications, the key aspect is like monitoring aspects, and how best we could do that effectively as per the modern technology using all the tools. That's what we are going to discuss. So the webinar agenda is going to be like why monitoring is important and what are the tools that we are going to use. So KARYA Monitoring System, KMS. So we are going to discuss in detail about that and its features and the integration components involved. And the major accomplishment in recent feature is like getting your logs integrated with the KMS system and how it is going to be interacting with the AI solution that we have developed, KDAPT, and get you insights based on the data involved. And then followed by a Q&A session and what are all the business value adds that you get. These are all the points that we are going to discuss today. So why monitoring is important? So in any industry, especially with respect to infrastructure or applications or a software development, so if the application is not up and running always, it leads to a poor customer experience. And let's say, for example, you are visiting an e-commerce site, and if the site is not going to be reliable and if it is going to be always taking too much time to load, that's going to frustrate the user and he's going to move on to a next website which is offering the same service. So it's a very competitive world, and we have to ensure that we have our service up and running with utmost high availability and with very good performance level. So these are all the key aspects that we should make sure on monitorings. So high level architecture diagram of our KMS. So like for any monitoring tools that most of you from the infra background would know, like it will always have like a server and a client and all those kind of things. So we have a similar architecture, but what value add that we are giving to our customers is on the cost and the easy implementation approach. So we have like the monitoring solutions, like we deploy the monitoring agents on the destination server, and we have a source where it takes the monitoring configurations in place, and we have plugins with open source components. It's very highly cost effective. You don't have too much of cost involved in this. If you are going for like a SaaS based monitoring solution, where like most of the companies, they charge close to $15 to $20 to monitor one host for just infrastructure monitoring, the core monitoring of infrastructure areas, they cost around $15 to $20. So if you're going to monitor close to 50 or 30 servers, you're going to spend like close to $600 per month, and per year it's going to go huge amount. Whereas deploying this monitoring suite that we have developed is going to take a very minimal cost of infra cost from customer end. Like hardly it's going to cost for spinning up some Linux virtual machine VM on any private or public cloud, which is going to be like less than $50 per month, and that's going to make things very cheaper for the customers on the infrastructure area, and they're going to save a huge amount, close to 6,000 to 6,500 USD per year, which is a big money. And it can be integrated with almost all the notification channels like Slack, email, Teams. These are all the features that we are going to discuss in detail, where you have more features that we are going to discuss. Yeah. So the high-level architecture diagram that we have put, like on the cost and what are all the components that it is associated with, and the integration items like to get the notifications via Slack, email, and Teams. And cost, the infrastructure cost will be reduced for the customer close to 6,000 USD per year annually. That's what I was mentioning. And it's a very simple and clean, neat dashboard. Any user can be easily interpreting the information that is published, which I'll be showcasing. And you can connect to AWS or Azure or on-premises, any infrastructure, and you can handle this KARYA monitoring system. So moving on to the features of KMS, like you have like similar any infra monitoring tools. You can monitor the RAM usage of your virtual machine or servers, the disk spaces. Those are all critical areas that needs to be checked on a regular basis. CPU utilization and some of the key Windows services. Let's say, for example, you have some application key services that are to be always running, or a SQL service that is to be always running. And if it is not going to, if it is going to get stopped or something, you need to be notified. You cannot always open the server and check. So we configure our monitoring automation using DevOps tools, and you get notifications on these. And similarly, if you want to monitor your SQL jobs, if your SQL jobs are like running for more than, it's supposed to run only for like 30 minutes. It's running for close to 4 to 5 hours, blocking other connections. That's going to cause performance issue. So those kind of monitoring notifications can also be captured using this. Application URL, endpoint URL, like you have a web application or an e-commerce site, and the URL should be always up and running. If it's going down, you need to be notified. And most of the modern architecture are involved with the Docker containers architecture, and so it's highly critical to monitor these Docker containers as well. So we also have the facility to monitor the containers and SSL certificates. Let's say, for example, you are using an e-commerce site, and if your SSL certificate is going to be not working in an effective way, when a user enters the system or enters the application URL, it will show like not secure. It will show like not secure. That is going to lead a poor customer experience, and people won't do any shopping if it is showing like not secure on the website. So those are very sensitive things, and it needs to be proactively monitored, and the certificates to be renewed before it gets expired. So those kind of monitorings are also in our solution. Server uptime. I want to do a periodic maintenance for my server, and if my server is like uptime for more than 30 days, I need to be notified, and I can perform a monthly restart for that. I need not go and check every day like whether it's 30 days exceeded or not. Now comes the most important thing, like logs. So all the other monitoring parameters that I discussed above will tell that there is a problem. Like it will trigger an alarm, and it will say like, hey, there is an issue. But only the logs gives us the insights like what is the actual problem, why this is occurring. So we have a solution in place to monitor and track the logs effectively, so that it's all monitored proactively and necessary measures are taken. And also for retrospective analysis, the logs are tracked and analyzed well. So this is a simple dashboard that I'll show you in the walkthrough with the tool. like any tool, you have this monitoring the RAM, CPU, disk, everything in place. Easy to understand, easy to interpret. You can customize according to your need. We also do some additional customization on customer's request. So the next one is the integration facilities. Like now I have a monitoring in place, but I cannot look at the dashboard always. I need to have a proper notification system for my tool. So I thought like, okay, let's integrate this with effective notification systems like you have Slack, email, Teams. Most people use these things in mobile itself nowadays in recent years. So it's mobile friendly. So you get a notification like the sample that I see in this that I show you in the screen, like a red alert firing, that is like a critical, and if it's resolved, it will show like green. And it can be integrated with any other notification channel according to your requirement. If there is any other uh, mode of notification system that you want, we can customize that as well by checking on that. The next one is the logs monitoring that I was discussing. So we have added a few open source plugins to make this monitoring suite a powerful one, not just monitor the infrastructure core parameters, because majority of the issues come on a software or application mainly because of the gaps or challenges in application codes and infrastructure gaps. So how we'll drill down and narrow down to the issue and identify the root cause, that's using the logs. So but you cannot go ahead and see the logs always on a daily basis on your busy schedule of business as usual activity. So you cannot fix certain things proactively. You will be reactive, but if there is an incident that is happening repeatedly, you will fix those kind of things by checking the logs. So how proactively we can address the logs, that's what we're going to discuss in the upcoming slides. So this is a log dashboard that you can visualize, like it will show the critical error logs that I will walk you through. And you can select the required amount of frequency, like you want the last 15 minutes log or you want it for a day, and the system will load the log. So what are all the core thing that is needed in a log? You need to have from which host the log comes, like what is the key error that it is displaying and from which directory. So all those important information that is required for our troubleshooting are captured and displayed to the users. So how the log collector pulls the log from the destination VM and it gets stored and indexes effectively. And based on our experience and tenure and the operational challenges that faced by more modern infrastructure and application teams, so we have categorized the errors and our system would filter and fetch the information and it would pass it to our monitoring system. And that's what we're going to display on the log page. Now, as I said, retrospective is fine. You observe the logs and you fix and you give a root cause when there is an incident. But how proactively you can fix these kind of things rather than firefighting during a situation. Like infra monitoring is fine. The RAM usage is spiking, but why it is spiking and fixing those on a retrospective production, it's like firefighting on a regular basis. To identify things proactively, that's when we thought like, why don't we do proactive on logs as well? That's when we integrate our monitoring solution with the AI analytics and insight KDAPT, KARYA data analytics and prediction technology. So that's like you have these logs that are like in unstructured format. So we structure those using a Python scripts and that's fetched to a database like a Postgres database. It can be any database. So for example, I'm saying in the Postgres database, and using KDAPT, you can integrate these logs and you can start asking questions and get insights. That's what we're going to show in the upcoming slides. I'm just quickly going through the tool. So this is our KARYA monitoring system. It's a one-shot place where you can monitor all your infrastructures. You can just see in a single page whether which server is going down. and you need not go to respective server to just check his availability status, or need not log into each server and verify. Single page where you can monitor like 50 or 100 plus servers. And like, as I said, monitoring the uptime, RAM, disk usage. Disks are very critical. If the root volume or C drive is not monitored regularly, that's going to add performance issues to the server. So those things are proactively checked and notified. The next one is container level monitoring. So if, let's say, for example, modern applications have containers nowadays. So all the containers are monitored. This one sample that I have pulled on one of my demo environment, like all the containers, it's a web application that we have deployed with Docker architecture. So it will display all the containers that are available on that particular application, and it will give us the information about the utilization of all those containers. The next one is the application endpoint or URL monitoring. So you have like 15 or 20 applications or URLs that you need to monitor whether it's up or not. You can't frequently hit the URL and monitor. You just have a website URL configured on our monitoring system, and it will show like how it's monitored, whether it's going down. If it is going down, it will trigger a notification like this to our Slack channel, like, hey, it's having some issue, you have to go ahead and fix. And the notification comes once it's critical and it's resolved, you get the green notification. So these are all the features that are in. And similarly, now I'm going to showcase like the logs part. So you have this logs, like you cannot go and see the several thousand pages of logs on a daily basis proactively. Definitely our team would be totally tied up on busy on the activities involved on their deployments or day-to-day activities, business as usual activities. So they would be proactively checking. So infrastructure leads, it will be very helpful for them. Like they can identify things proactively and say like seeing those many logs, we can filter what are all the logs required. And I'll show you how we have integrated that with our KDAPT. This is our KARYA data analytics and prediction technology KDAPT platform. So we have integrated this with our monitoring solution KMS KARYA Monitoring System. And see, I've just fetched the logs, and I've put all the logs that I fetched into a single table. So I've just used the Python script, and I have just converted this to a Postgres database. It's a single table. For a sample model, I've just pulled like 1 month of log and just kept it in the system just for a demo purpose. So this is all maintained in single table, and it is a Postgres database. It can connect to any database flavor. And I'm just going to ask like a question. I just want to know what are the most common error types encountered in each host. For let's say, for example, I added close to 4 to 5 servers for a demo purpose. So I'm just going to ask a question like, what are the most common error types encountered in each host in recent month? So these are all the hosts I have added for demo purpose, like 4 hosts, and it is giving me host 192.168.3.23 experience most frequent error, and it is giving the error and its occurrence as well. And in each host, what are all the errors that is occurring maximum, those kind of insights is clearly given. So from an infrastructure or application lead or an infrastructure lead, they can easily go and approach the respective owners of the application, and they can reach out and inform the respective team to work on these kind of things. It will give a detailed error list also. And also one more thing is like it will also give us recommended questions like how's the frequency specific in last 6 months. You can compare those kind of trends. It's with a role-based access control. So if an IT admin will have one level of access, and a team lead or a manager will have one level of access. So those kind of facilities are also available with this tool. Like So let's say for another example, I just want to know like top 5 errors that are, I just want to make sure like all the errors are addressed to the app dev team and they want to fix it. So I need to have effective data. Only then I can go and approach any app dev team. Without data, we will not be in a position to go and discuss with them. So these kind of data will definitely help us to identify the root cause and narrow down to the issue. Because majority of the performance issue, if you identify, most cases it will be because of like some application level error handling exceptions mostly. So this, let's see, in this case it's showing like what are all the top 5 errors, and it gives host wise. You can pull the report if you want for a detailed report. Similarly, for each question it would give a recommended question. Even a container level monitoring is also possible. So this is one thing with which container crashes frequently. So let's say, for example, I have one dev environment and I just want to, before going to live, I just want to make sure all my containers are running up and running fine without any issues. So I just want to know which container is crashing. So this is an application that I have built with several containers. So I just want to know on which is crashing frequently on my dev environment, and it will give me an insight like the container that crashes most frequently in dev environment is the this particular container, and there are other containers that also experience crashes. These are all like secondary and the next level. The first one is this. So we can drill down more by digging into this, what are all the errors in these containers, and we can narrow down and fix the issues. So this is one thing. So these are all the main things that I wanted to showcase on our monitoring systems. So the business value, what we are offering here is like some tools will be expensive just for infra monitoring, whereas here you have infra monitoring as well as log analytics monitoring. Also, you have the benefit of AI intelligence. You can use the insights instead of just watching the dashboard and being reactive. You can use this AI tool and technology along with our monitoring solution, and it can make you wonders by fixing issues proactively based on the insights that is provided by it. And the if there is a repeated incidents, it will be effective for you to identify the root cause and problem management, and it will enhance your business productivity rather than firefighting on the application issues on a day in day out. You can focus on improving your business rather than focusing on your infrastructure area. And these tools can be integrated with any database, so it can be useful for various application team, whatever they are developing. They can use it on their development or staging. Before moving to production, they can fix issues proactively and things. So these are all main best. And the cost aspect, as I said, it is highly cost efficient tool, because just to monitor core infra parameters like RAM, CPU, and disk, you're going to pay 15 to 20 USD for monitoring one host. And it's going to be 6,000 to 7,000 USD per year. Whereas infra cost for hosting this tool is pretty less, just $50 to $60 per month. So think about the cost saving option, adapting to the latest technology. And all these are open source tools that we have used. So there aren't any license involved. Only when you want to use some LLM things, the license subscription will be used. The other areas we can assist our clients, like remote infrastructure management. I just want to quickly touch base on this part. Like you have your business team or the on-site team taking care of day-to-day business activities and focusing on the business needs. And after going to their home, they need not log in and check the infrastructure health of the servers. So we have our dedicated 24/7 team, offshore team. They will be assisting you and performing all the maintenance activities, monthly reboots, patch updates, vulnerability scanning and fixes in cybersecurity, and OS level patch updates, like Windows is releasing patch every every month they are releasing 2 weeks once or monthly once. So we can support you on those patch updates. We can also assist you on automizing your task, like using the DevOps tools that we have, like automizing your deployment process using tools like Jenkins, or configuring automatic monitoring systems like we have done now with the tools. And cost optimization, you may be spending more on your tools without knowingly. So we can do a thorough analysis assessment of your assets infrastructure, come up with some cost recommendation. There was a scenario when customer was having a beefed up server and he was spending a lot for the ultra disk, whereas the usage was pretty less. So we identified the usage was pretty less, and we uh, gave him a solution, and that saved close to like 2000 USD per month. So those kind of assessments can be done. And most of the customers, they do take backups, but they do not validate the backups, or they do not periodically check the backups that has been taken. So we assist customers on validating the backups, ensuring their backups are working fine, carry out some restoration DR drills, perform in a different location using the application, whatever they have deployed. Cloud services support, if you have like any migration that is needed. There was a situation where a customer was using a application on premises and he wants to migrate it to cloud. So we assist on those areas. We have a dedicated data administration team. They can support you on optimizing your SQL or Oracle, whatever the database flavor. We can assist you on those areas. Also, we have a dedicated Windows Server administration and Office 365 administration. They can help you manage your Office 365 areas, licenses, everything. Any questions? Please feel free to address.
We have one question. Can you please show some SQL errors?
So we have this monitorings with MySQL, as well as we can do it with MS SQL. So this is a monitoring place where you monitor the database services. So if the database service is going down, you can be notified. And these are all the, if there is a pooling that is involved more, you get a notification. And all the processes that are involved, that is captured, which are all the queries that are running for long, those kind of things are captured. If there is any deadlock process, it captures and it notifies you. These are all with respect to database, and it can be done for any database flavor. For this instance, it's done with MySQL.
Right. Can KMS help identify application issues even when the server appears healthy?
Absolutely, because that's the real advantage of our tool. As I said, most of the issues in today's trend is like the server will be up and running, but they'll be saying like, I'm unable to pull a report that's taking several hours, or I'm unable to access the application. So but the server will be showing like healthy. That's where our log analytics comes into the picture. So we can drill down to the logs using our monitoring system, like what is the actual culprit, which is the causing the application to go, and we can drill down and narrow down to the issue and give a permanent fix.
All right. Thank you. We have one more question coming. Okay. I believe they're typing in a question. Can you show some output on the cybersecurity issues?
Cybersecurity, you have that is a separate solution. We have a dedicated tool configured for that. Like we can scan all your infrastructure involved. Like you have your virtual machines, you have your firewall, and we can scan all the endpoints that are involved, and we can do a vulnerability scanning, and we can do the fixes one by one. We have experience on various cybersecurity tools. One is like one such tool is like a Tenable.io or a Nessus. So we have those expertise and cybersecurity engineers. They assist you on those areas.
If that is something that you're interested in taking a look at, we can set up a separate time for Praveen and his team to go through a demo of that particular tool with you. Okay, I think that would be very good. We'll have you, Praveen, we'll have you connect after the webinar and find a time that would be suited for everyone to go through that, the cybersecurity tools, the other ones that you have.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any other questions? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for giving us your time today to allow us to present KMS and how it integrates with KDAPT. We really appreciate your time. If you have any questions or additional questions or would like to see a demo of any of the tools that we provided today, please feel free to reach out to our marketing team, Praveen, or our head of sales, Abdul, and we would be happy to set up a time for you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for joining.